Hey guys, welcome to Not So Random Chat, the nighttime live stream where we talk about whatever we want to. So, settle in and grab your libation. It could be your wine or tea or coffee or whatever you want to drink. And let's just sit back and chill. I'll be with you in a moment. Are you guys ready? Okay, well, so am I. So let's get into it. Here I come. Guys, this is so weird tonight. There is no internet. So I am coming to you guys via StreamYards. Thank God it's working on another device. And I'm in the chat on my cell phone. It's a manic Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope you guys can hear me as you come in. Let me just check. Because I guess I have it right here. So let me see. Yep, I can hear myself. Cool. I just want to make sure that there is good. Now, when I'm in this state that I'm currently in, I don't know how to do much of anything. I had to go out to come in order to come on screen. It was kind of weird, but anyway, it's I see it's been very interesting though. While I was taking my weekend off of being live, although I was uploading content, and shout out to all the people who watched the Artsy Autism Mom vlog number 71 that came out on Saturday. I am proud of myself. I think that one came out pretty good, considering how long it took me to get the damn thing up for you guys. But since we have no internet, and it's not just us. So let me just break this down to you guys. It Never Rains in Southern California is a funny song, but we actually had a thunderstorm and lightning striking and um, everything that is in the area surrounding SoFi Stadium, where I guess the strike was somewhere in that vicinity. Yeah, none of us. If you have good old Spectrum, then you don't have your cable, you don't have your internet, and you don't have your freaking phone right now. So that's a nice thing. But thankfully, my cell phone is not. It's not on Spectrum, nor is my little notepad, my little note that I'm on, um, that I'm streaming from. And thankfully, the music is downloaded into my iPad. So as long as it has power, we got music. But I mean, I can watch regular TV, and we were able to see the game because we're cable free over here. And it was a split decision in my house, because my late nephew was a Charger, and I have no love for the Raiders at all. So I was very, very pleased to see the Chargers beat the Raiders and get rid of their undefeated on game 4. Now they're 3-1, just like the Chargers. So they're both above, at the top of the AFC, you know, West in week 4. But, these two teams have a, conference rivalry that has gone on for years, at least back to the 80s, if not before then. And the Chargers are the reason that the Raiders didn't go to a Super Bowl and vice versa. So yeah, it's a no love lost between those two teams, and it was good to see the Chargers win, considering the Rams lost yesterday. I'm a football girl, so but my team, the no name team, yeah, we won yesterday, and my man's team, the Bears, yeah, they won yesterday too. So, you know, 2 out of 3, ain't bad for him. He likes the Raiders and I don't. And so, of course, I was very pleased to see the Chargers win the game. Why wouldn't I be? Shouts out to my nephew in heaven, who was number 94 when he played for the Chargers. And he was one of the gentlemen who was on the team that went to the Super Bowl. And unfortunately, he was also part of that line with Junior Seau, where many of them are no longer here. And, unfortunately, we know what we may not have known back in the 90s, when they were playing, is that CTE is the reason some of them are not here. But I have to say it is really, really good to have football back in Southern California, specifically in Los Angeles. Sorry, San Diego, not sorry. Because y'all didn't treat the Chargers right for so many years. Y'all had plenty of time to build them a new stadium, and you never did. And for those of you who are real football fans, if you know the history, you know that the Chargers actually started in Los Angeles and moved to San Diego. Now they're back home. Kind of the same way the Clippers went to San Diego and came back to LA. And speaking of the Clippers will be having a stadium adjacent to SoFi. I think their stadium will be up within the next couple of years because they got SoFi up fast. And it's, kind of like how did my man describe it? Like, Las Vegas without the slot machines. That's how he described it. So I'm going to give him credit for that description, and I'm going to take it and give it to y'all. But it's been a weird evening, actually a weird day with social media platforms, because earlier today, Facebook, IG, and I believe Snapchat and StreamYard were all tripping. I know that there were a number of content creators who were not able to go live because they normally use StreamYard. And, some of them, a lot of them are, they're bigger content creators, but everybody doesn't want to go live from their phone. So they don't. Now, I almost had to go live from my phone. If I hadn't figured out how to go live, through StreamYard, I would have been doing live through my through the app. But I actually probably wouldn't have done it on my phone. I probably would have done it on my Samsung Note. Yeah. But instead, I decided to go into StreamYards from the Samsung Note because I remembered that it's not on the internet here at the house. So, like my phone and I guess my iPad, I could get whatever I needed from these items. And this is good to know, for the next time that the internet goes down. But I still have to figure out how I'm going to be able to work because it went down during the work day. I was still working when everything went down. So I have like an hour of work that I'm going to have to tack on to mañana. And, they kept saying that they were going to have it up by a certain time, and that time came and went. Then they said that they were going to have it up by another time, and that time came and went. And now they're not saying. But I know that somebody is out there working on this furiously because, it's affected everything in an entire area. And I don't know about other people, but I called and asked them to please give me a credit for being inconvenienced at not having any service. Hey, Ra. Girl, the lightning strike here in the area that I'm in knocked out internet. So I have no internet. I'm talking to you from one of my devices that didn't need the internet. This is so crazy. Today has been one of those days with, you know, everything going haywire. And they still haven't said why everything was messed up earlier today, because Facebook was messed up, which meant Instagram was messed up, and I think Snapchat was messed up. So it was a bunch of them messed up for hours today. But I didn't miss anything. And then, hey, Tutu. Oh, the internet's been. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, and now it's down here. It's just the pain in the butt for me because I have to work an extra hour tomorrow to make up for today. You know, got to get, got to get my hours for my work. Got to get my coins, y'all. But this stuff is crazy with these people on this platform. So I'm glad you're here, Rob, because I was getting ready to talk about these people who keep incessantly talking about our children on the spectrum. You have to wonder if perhaps they are slow. And let me put this up while I get into this. Let me put this up. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh no, I have to look for stuff on here because now I'm on a different device. There it is. Here it comes. So, you know, as I said, you have to wonder if the people who would stoop to talking about children on the autism spectrum are slow themselves. You decided to ignore them? Well, girl, every time I hear about it anywhere around here, I'm going to have something to say. And one of the bigger content creators, I think, had some stuff to say today, too. Dama Wilson, who's also an autistic mom like us. But here's my thing. Folks who have nothing else to do with their time than talk about children on the autism spectrum and, people, period, who have developmental, which we want to call developmental disabilities, but I'm going to just tell you that are neurally diverse. People have issues with people who are neurally diverse because they're different. Personally, I think that they're threatened because most of the children and most of the people that I know on the autism spectrum are brilliant, are gifted, have higher IQs than most of us. The issue is that they have to learn how to get through how their brain is processing everything to understand how everything works with the rest of us. That's it. So, it's and this goes for whether they are verbal or nonverbal, because you have people who are nonverbal who are still thriving. There's this young lady, she's a few years younger than my son. Her name is Carly. And when she was given a computer to help her to communicate, she got her voice. And people found out that there was a whole lot going on inside her head, but she had no way to communicate it until she got that apparatus. So, and I mean, my sister Ra has already disproved all of these other crazy, theories that you guys have about how our children have autism. Let me tell you, just like she said, they don't know. They have no idea why some children get autism and some children don't. And what they do believe is that the earlier it is caught, the earlier there is intervention, the the better chances that the child has of thriving and being able to articulate their thoughts, be able to, you know, maneuver through this world. So, and I mean, the things that they have available now for children, I wish they had those things available 20 years ago when my son was a child. Because when my son was a child, it was one, they thought it was only one in 10,000. And that was and that was here in the United States. Now it's one in 50 or 48, depending on who you ask. They, girl, they wild, you know. And somebody needs to make them go look at all of the autism channels that are all up and down YouTube. Um, Especially that one that's over in the UK. That dude over in the UK, he's well over 100,000. I think it's Aspie something, and he's one of the ones who was fighting to get neurodiverse topics brought to the YouTube conference. But then 2020 happened, so I don't know. And I'm talking about here in America, because he was working with some of the YouTube channels that are here in America to make that happen. But again, 2020 happened, and we didn't have, and there was no conference this year either. So hopefully in 2022 that'll happen. You know, channels will be able to get together to make sure that there's that kind of subject matter being talked about in some of the breakout groups. Exactly, Raw. That's the thing. Like when my son got diagnosed, there were services, but some of the services that he really would have benefited from didn't exist until he was like almost in high school. Like they didn't have a school that was specifically just for people on the spectrum, um, that were, trying to matriculate and go to college. That didn't happen until he was, it was just crazy. But, my hope is that, eventually, if he wants to, he can go to community college, and we can figure out if he wants to go further than that. We'll figure out how to make that happen, but I'm just glad that they have a lot more things available. And then the thing is that even when our kids go to college, 80% of them are unemployed. 80% of them are not able to get a job, even if they go to college. Even if they go to college, because of employers' biases with people on the spectrum. because of employer biases for people on the spectrum, and I know that from, from knowing from people that I know whose kids, went to college, you know, graduated with honors, doesn't matter. She has autism, and they're concerned. And that's because people are ignorant and they really do not know. Even though we have a Dr. Temple Grandin out there who is um, the biggest autism advocate on the spectrum. Woman has a PhD in agriculture. You know, and the problem is that people throughout history, that we know would be deemed autistic today, at the time that they were living in, they didn't have that term. The term autism didn't come into existence until the 20th century. But you know, we all are pretty sure that Albert Einstein was high functioning autistic, and I would bet some money that Bill Gates is, even if he refutes it. He's the one who has like hugging cushions or apparatuses in his home for his coping. Yeah, my son was in special ed classes, but he took certain classes with regular ed. But the classes that he took with regular ed were like music and art, because those are his the two things that he's good at. He's also good at math, but I think that's something I have to work with him really on my own, because they didn't really teach him the math the way that he would need to know it. So yeah, but I mean, there are a lot of people they're talking. I mean, they're putting more they're putting more people who are on the spectrum. We're knowing about them, and I think, gosh, that scholar, that laureate, that poet laureate scholar girl, she's an identical twin, and I vaguely remember that they were in like special ed classes when they were younger, because they had speech impediments, and that's how she got into the poetry. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs created the iPad for people on the autism spectrum. The iPad was created for people on the spectrum. That's who he created it for. He said that in the 60 Minutes interview that he did. And when he said that, I made it my business to get an iPad. And when I got the iPad, my son knew how to use it like immediately. That's why he has iPhone, because the Apple products, for whatever reason, people on the spectrum are able to have no issues with them. They adapt to them quickly. And the other thing is that most of the apps that you can get that have to do with, for people on the spectrum, are only available for Apple products. Go figure. But my son is, yeah, He stole my first iPad. So, but it's like the original one. It's not even being serviced anymore. He just, but he likes it. Um, and I guess when I decide to get me another iPad, he'll get the one that I'm using when I'm doing my shows. But until then, he's just gonna have to, deal with his iPhone 7, which y'all, I did I I thought the dude I thought I had bought him an iPhone 8, y'all, but he has an iPhone 7. So my cell phone service carrier sent me a little notice telling me that I'm gonna have to upgrade his phone. He don't deserve a new phone, but he gets a new phone because iPhone 7s, I guess, are 3G, and the servicer is no longer going to support anything that is less than 4G. It's it's sad. I love this one, y'all. I love this meme. This is like my favorite meme. I ain't got no beef with nobody. I'm an effing vegetarian. And I don't have any beef with anyone. But Raw, isn't it interesting how you're seeing as the merge is going, how there's some people in the black sector who are over here talking some crazy stuff, aka Cynthia G. But she's been talking that old nonsense. And allegedly, she has a child with a Dusty. Allegedly, she has a child with a Dusty. So maybe that's why she has such an issue telling women to divest, and that all black men aren't crap. But that's the kind of women you need to watch out for, because if all black men are crap, if there's like absolutely none, they're all crap, then maybe it's you and not the men. Maybe it's you and the men that you're picking. Maybe it's you and maybe it's the men that you're picking. I'm just saying. Because let me just say this. When I was in the age group that homegirl is in, I don't understand. There's always, there's always good men out there. But maybe, just maybe, you're not a good woman for them. Because if you're constantly emasculating and talking down to men, you're not their type. Hey Joe, hola Joe. Girl, she tripping. But whose panel was that on? Was that based on what based on what DOD said? Was this up on Taz's panel? Because if it was, then I understand. But she's been talking that crap on her own channel. And now it appears that she and Nyla are tag teaming. But I don't understand how Nyla is agreeing with these talking points. because isn't she with a black man? I mean, last time I checked, her spiritual husband, Taz, was melanated. And wasn't she pro-black 2 seconds ago? You divesting from the nonsense. Girl, I don't listen to the nonsense. I just I just hear about it when y'all tell me about it. I hear about when somebody else talk about it, because I'm just gonna be honest. I don't listen to Cynthia G. No. I mean, you know, sorry not sorry. I'm an elder. What can she tell me? You know, and I'm not divesting. I love my black man. I don't have a problem with black men. I know how to, separate the bad ones from the good ones. It takes practice, but you can do it. Hey, Red Wings. Yeah, y'all. I'm actually on my Samsung tonight, on my StreamYards, on my Samsung, cause I ain't got no internet, and I didn't want to do it on my phone, so I found something else that didn't require the house internet. That's her Hope Tip Honey Taz. Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying, Joe. If she's with the divestment nonsense, how is she with him? Or are they going to break up? On YouTube. Not in real life, but just on YouTube. And here's the funny thing. Don't they live in Vegas? So they in Vegas. Why y'all ain't made that marriage real? There's a chapel on every corner. Oh, y'all know that. Y'all know. There's a chapel in every corner in Vegas. Y'all live in Vegas now. Why y'all ain't got married? Why y'all ain't got the piece of paper? Why y'all ain't made that spiritual marriage real? Y'all know I'm being bad. But I'm asking a legitimate question. It's a legitimate question. Y'all live in Vegas, so how come y'all haven't, you know, gone down to the little Elvis chapel, you know, or one of those drive-through ones? Inquiring minds are just asking questions because she's talking crazy with her friend. Oh God. Raw, you telling the truth. That is the truth. That's the truth. Let me just see if I can. How do I do that? How do I? I don't know how to do it. Yeah, Tutu got to be careful. Girl, our toes are precious. And let me just say this. If you sprain or bruise or break a toe, it's like they most of the time they can't really do anything other than, you know, bandage it up and everything, have you to try to stay off of it. But at some point, you have to actually walk on your broken toe for it to heal, which is painful. So you see what you guys are talking about. Exactly, Raw. Exactly. What real man is going to sit there and there it is. Okay, that's the one I wanted to cover. Did I get it? I'm trying to. Oh, it went up. It went up. It went up. it keeps escapes. There you go. There we go. Trying to get the other one up there. No real man, in my opinion, no real man is going to sit there and allow his woman to sit there and talk ish about men. Especially black men. Sorry, y'all. Listen to the planes as they fly by. Usually y'all don't hear that, but as I said, I'm not in my normal situation. I'm not sitting where I'm normally sitting at the computer. I'm literally sitting in a whole different part of the house. Oh, she made you cry today. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? I'm going down the chat. Let's see, because they're going to break up on YouTube. Joe, let me post that up there for the folk in the back who didn't see that. It's coming. It takes a minute. Word. Okay, there it goes. There it goes. It's coming. I'm gonna post that just for the folk in the back, in case they missed it. Hey, information man, in case they missed it in the back. Exactly. They're gonna break up on YouTube. Yeah. Well, YouTube does pay their bills. And I guess, pro-black ain't making no money. Especially if you're not real pro-black and it's just YouTube pro-black, in my opinion. I ain't seen y'all in none of them, none of the marches. I ain't seen y'all doing nothing. And yes, I understand that real activists don't show you everything that they're doing, but I know y'all not doing it. How can you? But hey, at least y'all are not on the road anymore. At least y'all have an address. So something good happened. That man tried to. Oh, you mean Taz? Are you talking about Taz Raw? Are you talking about Taz? Well, see, yeah, that doesn't surprise me because he thinks he knows everything, but no, he doesn't. A lot of people, but a lot of people don't know the things that BPP, did. They don't, because they want us to only think of them in a different manner. But those of us who have knowledge know the truth. We know the truth. And I suggest that the GOAT go look at some documentaries. They're out there, and find out what BPP really was about versus what they want you to think they were about. I mean, come on. Fred Hampton was 21 years old. 21. And they were afraid of him. They were afraid of a 21-year-old man. They were afraid of some other men in their 20s because they had PhD behind their name and their skin was brown or shades thereof. So they either killed them or they put them in prison and 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 made everyone think something that we all now know is not true. We all know that the FBI during that time was one of the most corrupt organizations in the country. And they did what they wanted to do. Exactly. We do have to be doing what we're supposed to be doing. Instead of people on the internet talking about what the problems are. If you don't have any solutions, why are you talking about the problem? Come up with some solutions and then implement them. Or if you are unable to implement them yourself, find people who can. Otherwise, get off the internet talking ish. But you know what? The thing is that our history in this country, all the way back to how we came into this country, is truly hidden. We don't even know our full history in this country because so many lies have been told. We don't know the full history of what really happened during slavery. We don't know what happened, but our DNA does. Our DNA knows. It's in our DNA. That trauma is in our DNA. Exactly, Raw. That's why I don't even listen to them, to that foolishness. Because here's my thing: if you don't want to be with black men, that's fine. Good. Then that means that you can go over wherever it is that you want to go and talk to them. But on your way out, you shouldn't have anything to say about the men with our melanation. Just go on where you're going. Go and do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Just take it somewhere else. This is not. It's like they're saying this to an audience that's not that's really not listening to it. Or maybe they're trying to just, push their way over into a whole nother community, because, you know, the pink pill is in and out. I mean, I see her more over on Clubhouse than I see her on YouTube. I'm just being honest. She's over on Clubhouse a lot. But since the situation happened, she's barely on here. With her dude who's not a black man being goaded into saying the N-word, saying he was an N-word lover. Because we all know no matter what the situation is, that's not right. Nobody gets a pass. And this is the reason why people shouldn't even be saying it. It's like if you keep saying it around people, then they start to feel comfortable and think that they can say it too. So don't use that word. Just don't use the word. But since that situation happened, she's barely on the platform, which is a shame. But, she's doing what she feels is best for her. If I were her, I just wouldn't have even shared my relationship on the platform in the first place. But that was her decision. You know, Red Wings, I have, my experience is primarily with black men. I mean, I think I went out on a couple of dates with someone who wasn't black. And it was a couple of dates. That's all they got. And the crazy thing is that they were non-black, but they had biracial children who were black. So they had figured out that they could not go out with women who weren't melanated because of their kids. Because they had figured out that non-melanated women would feel a kind of way about their black sons. But that was not my problem. They had too many hang-ups about the whole situation. I did not want to go down that journey with them. The couple of times they were busy. Like, why are they looking? Because I'm fine. That's what I told them. I told them, I said, they're not trying to figure out why I'm with you because you're not black. They're just trying to figure out how you got me to go out with you, period. But as I said, a couple of dates and I was good. I was good. And I mean, for me, and this is just me, I have a chocolate son. So, I just figured that I'm more comfortable with people that look like me. Plus, when they decided to move back to California from out of state, you know, it was over for anybody else anyway. So you dated women who are almost past very light skinned, but a sister is in her soul. Well, like for me, like I said, there was this guy when I was in college at an HBCU, and he was on the basketball team, and he was the only non-black player that played on the Hampton. Well, it's Hampton Institute then. It's Hampton University now, but was on the team that actually won the championship. But he was from Israel, and he only liked black women. So we were friends. And that was the first time I was like around somebody that wasn't black. Because I'm sorry, I grew up in DC where, almost everybody was black. So it never even crossed my mind ever growing up. And then when I came to California, still wasn't really crossing my mind. I still was just cool, you know. And I don't, it just never crossed my mind that I would get serious about anybody that wasn't black. It just never crossed my mind that I would ever get serious with anyone that wasn't black, and it just never has happened. And at this point, it never will. Hey, Terry. At this point, it never will. You know, I have a black son. I have a black man. I am a black woman, regardless of, part of my family being from Cuba, they were still black Cubans. Okay. Afro-Cuban. They weren't white. Okay. Let's be clear. They were still descendants of slaves on the island. And they just happened to come into this country, free because, we were the last ones to end slavery. We were the last ones. Everyone else had ended it before we did. This country, that is this country's biggest sin. Oh, and I wanted to make a point about something that Ra had talked about earlier on hers before I get off of here, because I know I'm almost at my hour, about all this stuff dealing with abortions and everything. So, all of these states have been trying to put in all of these anti-abortion laws. You guys know that those aren't for us. They don't care if we have, if we get rid of babies, if we, slaughter our race. The problem is that too many people who are non-black take advantage of those services more than we do. And instead of us being the ones who have, basically started to wipe our numbers out, they're the ones whose numbers have fallen. And so they feel that if they put these laws into place, they'll keep their women from having one, so that they will keep their race or their ethnicity or whatever you want, because we're all humans, only one race, so that they will keep their ethnicity with the Euro features dominant, the majority, because it's getting really close, y'all. They're about to be popped out of the majority. That's the truth. But The sins of our country are great. The sins of this country are great, y'all. And see, when they, when things happened on 9/11, that didn't bring us to our knees. We just sauntered along and kept doing things that we've been doing as a country and have not atoned for our sins as a nation. And we all know what the biggest sin is, but regardless of that, as a nation, we haven't atoned for them. Now I'm going to try to come on camera, y'all. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know how this is going to work. Okay, first let me take the thingy off. Let me take the thingy off. All right, let me take her off. All right, she's off. All right, now let me see if I can come in. All right, let's see if I can come in. Yes, wait, let me take that off of those comments all the way back there. Hey guys. I told y'all. I'm literally sitting on the couch talking to y'all. But anyway, I'm about to get out of here. I was a good content creator and still came on regardless of not having internet. And this actually worked out pretty good. Y'all could hear me. I was able to figure out what I was supposed to do. But let me get this together. Okay, let me find my thingy. Let me find it. Where is it? Okay, you guys. All right, so anyway, you guys, thank you for coming. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Until then, I offer you peace. I can't get the blessings up because I'm holding this thing from the west side. And blessings from the west side. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Until then, peace. Here's the outro. I'll see y'all. Well, guys, that's it for tonight's Not So. Well, guys, that's it for tonight's Not So Random Chat. But I'll see you guys the next time. Until then, peace and blessings from the west side. I'm out. Peace.